Continuing from the previous episode 2515, there seems to be something wrong with the head seat of Qingkang. The other 7 had already exerted all their strengths and fought against the 4 half-evil gods, but Xiaoyan and Qingkang were the only ones standing quietly in the air. Xiaoyan's powerful and sensitive soul force still allowed Xiaoyan to discover that the strength of these so-called half-evil gods basically spread around the peak of the quasi-5th reincarnation order and the 5th reincarnation order, but their power seemed to be vain, apparently through external forces elevated. In this way, the 7 evil gods outside the realm, the one with the lowest strength also has a quasi-6th order level? Hoo-hoo, I didn't think that you just sent an energy projection. It's really a waste of the gift that this seat has prepared for you. All of a sudden, Qingkang's head seat, who had always been silent, suddenly spoke up, and his voice was filled with an arrogant tone that looked down on the world. Qingkang, the grievances between us will be completely settled sooner or later. But this time, we still won. Btth. As soon as the voice of the holy demon lord fell, his entire body was suddenly wrapped in demonic energy, and instantly fell into the space passage. Where to run? Top immortal arts, great annihilation. The ancient Hong bell sounded slowly, and the air and energy in the entire Tibetan army pavilion suddenly became quiet. Silk. I don't know what kind of power it is. The void trembled, and it actually stretched out an arm covered with countless flame patterns out of thin air, quietly obliterating the 4 demigods. With a single blow, one of the 4 fell, and 3 were seriously injured. With such daring and handwriting, he deserves to be the Deputy Palace Master of Daqiangong. As expected of the Deputy Palace Master of Daqiangong, but the mission of this seat has also been completed. See you next time. Can this territory be protected? Boom! Just when that kind of attack was about to destroy the void passage, the 4th evil god's energy clone exploded in an instant, and the mourning and miserable voices of lonely ghosts and ghosts spread throughout the Tibetan army pavilion. Btth. The void was calm, the evil energy dissipated, and everyone couldn't help but feel a stunned look in their hearts. Haha, come here. Put the 4.5 evil gods into the Great Thousand Prison for me, and keep them under strict supervision. Furthermore, gather all the members of Ochimiya and conduct a strict inspection. Everyone must make a soul-blood pact, just in case. Qingkang Shouzo shook his head. The self-blame in his heart was hard to hide. Soul-blood pact? Hearing this unfamiliar word, the eyes of the remaining 8 people shrank slightly. The conclusion of this thing indicates that their lives will be in the hands of Daqiangong in the future, but the conclusion of this contract can also prove their innocence. HMPH. No need. People from Daqiangong, a kid can't stand tall. This is the execution order. This junior will have nothing to do with Daqiangong in the future. Listening to Qingkang's words, Xiaoyan's chest was filled with anger. As a descendant of the Xiao clan, he saw that the place where his senior Xiao Yu slept was being spied on by the evil gods of the evil clan outside the territory. If they made any mistakes, how could Xiaoyan face the seniors such as the Holy King and the Golden Dragon King? Oh! Hearing Xiaoyan's slightly stubborn voice, Qingkang's head seat also shook his head helplessly. This meeting was indeed the fault of Daqiangong. Although Qingkang had already known some news that Daqiangong was mixed with moths, he never thought that their purpose was actually the Xiao clan. The Xiao clan was the biggest hero of the First World War, but now their traces have been exposed. As you go, if you have any needs, just speak up. This time, it was our Daqiangong's negligence, and we will fight at the forefront. After Qingkang finished speaking, he slowly disappeared. The first one, I have been fighting in the sword domain for many years, and now it is time to retire to the mountains and forests. First seat, I've been throwing my fists all my life. Immediately, following Xiaoyan's opening, 6 of the 8 demon slayer kings spoke at the same time. Alas, Daqiangong, it seems that the sky is about to change. Only Leng Luokan and Elder Kun were left behind. Due to some special reasons, they had to stay in Daqiangong, but they knew it when they saw the retreat of the 6 demon kings. The Daqin Palace in the future is still the Daqin Palace, but it is not always the Daqin Palace. Daqiangong seems to start from this moment, even if it goes downhill. At the end of the meeting, the whole depressing atmosphere revolved around Xiaoyan's heart. Are you all right? Not long after, in the Daqiangong building, when Xiaoyan appeared in front of Yun Yun got up and stared at the somewhat angry Xiaoyan, as if preparing to comfort him. Well, it's fine. The meeting is over. Let's return to the endless fire territory as soon as possible. Xiao Yan temporarily swept away the unhappiness in his heart, and showed a faint smile to Yun Yun. Well, let's go. As soon as the words fell, the two said goodbye to Daqiangong and embarked on their journey back to the endless fire territory. However, after saying goodbye, they may not have the opportunity to step into Daqiangong in the future. Daqiangong is indeed the most admired peak strength in the Daqin world, but such a scene really made Xiao Yan unacceptable. Xiao Yan, you seem to have something on your mind? In the space-time wormhole, the two of them stepped alone on the deck of the spaceship. Yun Yun stirred her long eyelashes and bit her silver teeth. Yun Yun still knew Xiao Yan very well, and it was probably not a simple matter to make Xiao Yan have such an expression. On the Doqi continent, the Xiao clan, including the ancestors of the 8 ancient clans, disappeared because they came to this brand new Daqin world. Among the 8 clans, our ancestors of the Xiao clan are the most outstanding. During the First World War, countless ancestors of our Xiao clan stood up to protect this great world, but in the end they ended up being a traitor, unknown. Finding the ancestors of the Xiao clan is my highest mission as a descendant of the Xiao clan. But in the meeting just now, the evil gods of the evil race from outside the territory secretly tampered with the trajectory of the meeting, and gave insight into the sleeping place of our Xiao ancestors. Now they have returned to the outside world safely. Once the army gathers, the place where the ancestors slept will be in jeopardy. Xiao Yan looked at the endless deep void outside the time-space wormhole. The corners of his mouth were loose, and there was even a hint of grief when he spoke. Xiao Yan couldn't imagine what the situation would be for their elders of the Xiao clan once the army of the evil clan from outside the realm attacked the underworld. Are they in the underworld? Listening to Xiao Yan's stubborn words, Yun Yun's heart trembled as if she had noticed something. She slightly stood on tiptoe, stretched out her pure white palm. She was actually slowly touching Xiao Yan's hair, and she moved. Extraordinary intimacy. It's like stroking his most beloved pet to relieve his worries. Yep. I once inquired with my teacher, the underworld is the most mysterious realm, not to mention the evil races outside the realm. Even the many powerhouses in the Great Thousand World are silent about that place. So you don't have to worry. Maybe this is a good thing. If you know where the elders of the Xiao family are sleeping, then we can go and rescue them together. I'll go with you. At this time, Yun Yun was like a gentle and virtuous big sister, and her sweet and moving voice sounded slowly. Huh. I see. Thank you, Yun Yun. The faint voice fell, the eyes met, and a pair of scorching red lips fit together unpreparedly. On the spaceship, it moved steadily, but on the deck, there were some whispers of spring from time to time. There seems to be joy, and several emotions of joy are released. Please remember this book's first domain name. Mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 2516. The Xifeng continent of Emperor Do is also the resident of the endless fire domain that has become famous in the world today. At this time, there was only a thin figure sitting in the main hall of the mother-in-law. On the delicate wooden table, there were scrolls of secrets one after another. These were obviously secrets about the endless fire domain. There are many scrolls, most of which are the disputes and deficiencies in the endless fire domain today. But under the skillful movements of this figure, the processing is extremely fast. This graceful figure has an alluring appearance and is often dressed in Xing Yi. Her demeanor is indifferent and majestic, and she has a real power of vision invisibly. Mistress of Endless Fire Territory, Xuan is also. Boom! The main door of the mother's hall was knocked 3 times, and immediately came a middle-aged man with a slightly happy and heavy face. Mistress, Senior Feng Waner is back. But Han Tianhao is gone. As soon as Yan Kai poured into the mistress hall, he spoke to Mistress Zuner, and there seemed to be some doubts in his voice. Han Tianhao has fallen? Hearing Yan Qi's voice, Zuner couldn't help letting go of what she was doing. Her beautiful eyes narrowed. The Soul Clan of Do Di Xifeng continent is not the same as the heinous Spirit Clan on Do Qi continent, which is one of the reasons why the Endless Fire Territory will integrate the 7 ancient races. However, regarding Han Tianhao, although Xiao Yan didn't mention it too much, the 2 mistresses, Zuner and Mu Yingying, with the holy flame in their bodies and the intuition of being a woman, always felt that this guy was not easy. What happened? Although she was a little surprised, as the mistress of the Endless Fire Territory, she naturally couldn't be too obvious, so Kaoru asked. Bang! Right at this moment, a violent wind suddenly gusted out from outside the mother-in-law's hall, and a middle-aged woman with white hair stepped into the mother-in-law's hall step by step. Senior? Looking at the person who came, it was Senior Feng Wan'er, and Zuner made a slight voice. Mother Zuner, Hun Tianhao, in order to cover me and bring back important information about the Dragon Clan, he has fallen into the storm of time and space. Feng Wan'er looked complicated, and even had a trace of regret in her heart. After getting the accurate information on the entrance of the Dragon Clan, the two set off to return to the Endless Fire territory, but they encountered an unprecedented space-time storm on the way. The time storm energy fluctuates tyrannically, and it is simply not something that the two of them can deal with together. Just at the critical moment, Hun Tianhao sacrificed resolutely and sent him back safely. Well, Senior, let's go back and have a good rest. Regarding the Dragon Clan, we will make a decision when he comes back. As for Senior Hun Tianhao, erection of the Endless Monument to be buried with the highest etiquette in my Endless Fire territory. Zuner looked calm, like a real queen. Regardless of whether Hun Tianhao's identity is true or false, the military spirit must be stabilized. Yes. Feng Wan'er heard the words, her expression slightly recovered some color, and immediately turned around and left here. It wasn't until Zuner and Yan Kai were left in the entire mother's hall that Yan Qi's expression showed some ugly meaning. Is there anything else? Seeing Yan Qi's appearance like this, Zuner couldn't help frowning, as if she had a premonition of something. Mother, some strange things have happened frequently recently. Because of the existence of Mu Feng and Xiao Zifan's family, our Endless Fire territory has always been in contact with the major forces in the Ghost World, but for the past month, they have been unable to communicate with the Ghost World. When Yanqi said this, a wry smile appeared on his face, and there was always some inexplicable worry in his heart. What about the time-space wormholes in the Endless Fire domain and the Ghost World? When Zuner heard this, she turned her head slightly and stared at Yan Kai intently. I can't enter the Ghost World, it seems that I was suppressed by some powerful force. Once you enter the time-space wormhole, you will be bounced back by an inexplicable powerful force. Yan Kai shook his head. Obviously, this incident is enough to explain some problems. Call the Xiao Zifan family and Mu Feng. I want to see them. The sooner the better. The voice sounded, and Zuner's heart suddenly beat uncontrollably. When Xiao Yan was away, Mu Yingying and Kaylin retreated together. Now the burden of the Endless Fire territory naturally falls on him. No matter what, he cannot let any flaws appear in the Endless Fire territory. What can make my family Zuner panic so much? And just when Yan Jire left the Mother Palace, a familiar laughter slowly emerged from the void of the Mother Palace. The spatial coordinates of the Endless Fire territory controlled by Xiao Yan, the exit is impressively in the palace of the Mother. This is also the common opinion of the three women. Xiao Yan, listening to this familiar voice, Zuner's mistress's breath disappeared instantly, and it seemed that she instantly transformed into an infatuated woman. There were bursts of tears in the corners of his eyes, and he jumped up and rushed directly to the shadow at the exit of the space passage. All kinds of emotions such as joy, bitterness, and lovesickness were uncontrollably rendered. Brother Xiao Yan, Zuner misses you so much. Zuner squeezed her arms slightly, hugging the pale and thin figure tightly, as if she was hugging a toy she couldn't put down. In this way, Zuner embraced Xiao Yan in the entire mother-in-law's hall, but the exit of the space passage was not closed, as if there were other figures in it. Come out. Xiao Yan did not push Zuner away. After a while, he held Zuner's slender hand and said to the space passage. Shuan, Sister Zuner, long time no see. After a long time, a unique figure appeared in the space passage. Qianying was wearing a snow-white dress, showing a graceful face. A faint smile appeared, and she spoke to Zuner beside Xiao Yan. Humph. Looking at this scene, Zuner's body suddenly froze, but after a while, looking at Yun Yun's pretty face full of beauty, she couldn't help but snorted coldly. Yun Yun is always like this. It seems that the lightness she carries on her body is stronger than Mu Yingying's. Her whole person is as pure and kind as an iceberg in Snow Lotus. However, Xiao Yan's trip to the immortal realm, Shengen Cave Mansion, only brought Yun Yun back. I am afraid it is enough to explain a lot of things this is. Feeling the resentment in Zuner's heart in front of him, the palm of his hand was directly detached from his own. Xiao Yan scratched his head helplessly. Sister Yanyan, Welcome to join the Endless Fire Realm. Come on, I'll take you to see this realm. As soon as the words fell, the two women joined hands and actually walked out of the mother-in-law's palace and slowly walked away towards this huge world. He, Zuner, you are so kind. Seeing such a harmonious scene, Xiao Yan, who was alone in the mother-in-law's palace, couldn't help grinning. Bang! Just as Xiao Yan's voice fell, a golden flame surged out of the void without any precautions, and then suddenly swept towards Xiao Yan. Brother Xiao Yan. He is really a big radish. Cough cough. Looking at the violent energy that exploded out of the flames, it instantly turned his face into disgrace, but Xiao Yan did not have any resistance, just a voice full of resentment, which slowly sounded from it. But fortunately, the four daughters should be able to live in harmony in the future. I wish to win the hearts of the four, and the whiteheads will not be separated from each other. I, Xiao Yan, have no regrets in this life. Please remember this book's first domain name. Mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 2517. Mother, do you have anything to do with us? After a while, the main door of the mother's hall was slowly pushed open, and Xiao Zifen, the 5 members of Xiao Gui's family, Mu Feng and others came one after another. However, they had just arrived here and looked around. When they saw Xiao Yan, their expressions were not very good, as if they were worried about something. Xiao Yan? Ahahaha, what's the matter with you? How did we, the dignified lord of the Endless Fire Realm, become so disheartened? In an instant, Mu Feng slapped Xiao Yan's shoulder, looking at Xiao Yan in a very embarrassed appearance. He couldn't hold back, he couldn't help laughing. Cough cough. Okay, why did you come here? Xiao Yan sorted it out, and immediately said to the few people in front of him. It's like this. Recently, our connection between the Endless Fire Domain and the Ghost World was suddenly interrupted. Mistress Zuner called us here, and it seemed that she wanted to discuss this matter in detail. Xiao Zifen stepped forward, looked at Xiao Yan, and seemed to find this guy's strength a little scary. Big brother, your strength? At this moment, looking at this guy in front of him, Xiao Gui only felt his heart palpitate and couldn't help but say. Xiao Yan's strength, it seems that every time he leaves the Endless Fire territory and returns again, the increase is enough to shock people. He. I conquered the 3rd holy flame. Xiao Yan said with a grin. The 3rd holy flame? When a few people in the audience heard it, they were like thunder. Okay, let's get down to business. Isn't the space channel between the Ghost Realm and our Endless Fire Realm always stable? How could this happen? Xiao Yan said with a stern face, a little worried. Do not know. This situation has been going on for more than a month. Mu Feng shook his head. Obviously he couldn't solve this kind of thing either. Mu Feng, go to the Space Intelligence Sales Building to see if there is any information about the Ghost World. Senior Xiao, please take me to the place where China Unicom is connected to the Ghost World. Xiao Yan said, as if he already had some plans in mind. Okay. As soon as the voice fell, several people split up and took action. This is the space channel we built. Logically speaking, the space channel constructed by the reincarnation-level powerhouse should not have any flaws. Xiao Zifen took Xiao Yan into a dead stone room full of restrictions. The stone room is extremely spacious, surrounded by obscure seal runes, and even a deep well in the center. Countless seals are set around the deep well, and the power of space is constantly spreading from it. Come out. This is the entrance to the time-space wormhole of the Endless Fire Domain in the Ghost World. Go in and have a look. Xiao Yan's huge soul power probed, but there was no result. He could only say with a gloomy face. No, it's too dangerous. I suspect that this is due to the amount of sealing pressure imposed by some powerhouses, isolating our space channel. And we have tried to enter before, but were instantly bounced off by a strange force. That kind of force is too strange and tyrannical, and the domain owner must not take the risk. Xiao Zifen denied it directly. Obviously he was very afraid of the power that inhabited it. Don't worry, this kind of threat won't bother me. After Xiao Yan finished speaking, he jumped into it directly. Hoo! The time-space wormhole that just poured into the Endless Fire Domain leading to the Ghost World, but there was no deep time-space channel in the past. Instead, there was a trace of maddening evil energy. It's just that the so-called rebounding power in Xiao Zifen's mouth was of no use to Xiao Yan at all. The halo of holy flames appeared and instantly stabilized in time and space. This is an extraterritorial taste. Looking at the evil mist that was so thick that it almost filled the entire space-time wormhole, Xiao Yan's eyes clenched involuntarily, and a trace of shock appeared in his heart. The ghost world does have a huge area, but the biological population of the ghost world is very weak, and even the reincarnation powerhouse is very few. If it is invaded by a foreign army, the consequences are unimaginable. More importantly, the existing teacher, Master Soul Eater, several senior sisters and brothers, and even Master Lei from Li Soul territory, all touched Xiao Yan's heartstrings. Bang! Just when Xiao Yan was about to leave, in the endless space passage, a huge black stone pillar suddenly appeared. There was an ancient wave all over the stone pillar, and even a pair of extremely evil black eyes appeared. Black eyes gushed out, as if driving a wave of evil that erodes all things, and it turned out to be nibbling at Xiao Yan bit by bit. Intruder, die! The stone pillar was sensational, and it seemed to be telling some vast magical sound. Unbelievable! Xiao Yan snorted coldly, and the dazzling thunder attribute power spread out. The faint gray thunder point was about to explode, and just as it poured out, it turned the entire space upside down. Bang! The two attacks came into contact, and the earth-shattering sound resounded throughout the void. Hurry up and tell your lord, there are strong people with thunder attributes trying to break through the evil world, but they were rejected. Okay. Long buzzing. How's it going? About a quarter of an hour later, Xiao Yan's body was returning to the stone room, and Xiao Xifen hurriedly asked. It's a little weird. Let's wait until Mu Feng comes back. Xiao Yan couldn't help shaking it. When the matter was not finalized, Xiao Yan still decided not to rashly say this news. After all, it was too heavy. It's just that the stone pillar that just emerged, and the black eyes perched on it, the fluctuations contained in it seemed to be a little out of place. Xiao Yan, take a step to speak. I have something more important. As soon as the voice fell, the two bodies were in the vanishing stone chamber. Father, have you decided to speak out? Xiao Gui and the others slowly retreated from their hearts, and they also made their own decisions. The world of ghosts must be maintained. If the ghost world falls, then it will be the underworld. Because in the ghost world, there is the entrance to the underworld. The two of them just came to a secret room when Xiao Xifen said in a deep voice. As soon as the words fell, a thunderbolt resounded through Xiao Yan's mind. Ghost world, is there an entrance to the underworld? At this moment, Xiao Yan's originally calm heart suddenly surged upside down. The evil clan from outside the realm already knew where the seniors of the Xiao clan slept. If the ghost world was completely occupied, they would look for the entrance to the underworld. Once they find the entrance to the underworld, the Xiao family will be in danger. In any case, this trip to the ghost world will definitely not let them succeed. Call the elders and hold a meeting. This trip to the ghost world must not make any mistakes. Once Mu Feng obtains the exact information, act immediately. Xiao Yan's voice was like a mighty thunderous sound, slowly resounding throughout the secret room. The ghost world. Could it be that it was really attacked by a foreign evil race? But why did they not get any news from the endless fire domain including the Great Thousand World? Please remember this book's first domain name. Mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 2518. Boom boom boom. Around the endless fire territory, Mu Yingying's holy flames continue to burn. The entire endless fire territory headquarters is surrounded by countless holy flames. It is a real fire territory. Some of the burning of such pure holy flames, I am afraid that unless the powerhouses of the half-evil *** level, they cannot escape the perception of Mu Yingying and other high-level officials. Therefore, after the Daqiangang incident was exposed, the endless fire territory became a lot of powerhouses for a while. Longing for the place. After Xiao Yan and the others completed their exploration of the space passage, they did not enter it hastily, otherwise they would startle the snake, so they stayed in the endless fire domain. A few hours later, Mu Feng hurriedly returned to the endless fire territory. It was obvious that what Xiao Yan had explained had already taken hold. Mu Feng had just returned, and the three daughters of Zuner, Yunyan, and Mu Yingying came hand in hand. Obviously, with Yunyan's arrival, Mu Yingying had just left the customs, but the three women seemed to have reached some kind of consensus. A group of people walked towards the conference hall. How does that go? Xiao Yan's mind moved. Looking at Mu Feng, he always felt that something was not right. Mu Feng had just returned to the conference hall. Zuner, Yun Yun, and Mu Yingying's 3 daughters sat in the first place, including Xiao Xifen, the patriarchs of the ancient clans and other high-level officials. Domain owner. Things may be more terrifying than we thought. This is the classified information given to us by the Space Intelligence Sales Building. Please take a look. While speaking, a delicate silver scroll suddenly appeared on Mu Feng's palm. The scrolls naturally recorded some extremely precious spatial picture information. At this time, they were gently spread out, and scenes emerged, which deeply stabbed the heartstrings of the strong present. In the picture, there is a dim realm completely surrounded by gloomy black air. There is a dead air in the realm, and there is no life at all. The entire space seemed to be completely imprisoned by some kind of energy. These breaths are not ghosts. Looking at the depressing picture in the picture, Xiao Xifen and Mu Feng said directly in unison. This is the power of the foreign evil race. Xiao Yan's eyes were filled with extremely angry anger, and he said word by word. Xiao Yan. Seeing this scene, the 3 women spoke at the same time, as if to appease Xiao Yan's emotions. After all, now Xiao Yan, as the lord of the endless fire territory, is related to the entire force. The ghost world is suspected to be attacked by an army led by the 7th evil *** of the foreign evil race. The time of the attack should be when the Domain Master goes to the 3rd Holy Flame Cave Mansion. After a while, Mu Feng revealed some shocking information. What? So, the ghost world has been fighting for nearly 2 years? Gollum. At this moment, a touch of fear could not help but emerge in my heart. In the past 2 years, the power of the evil tribe outside the territory has been used to deal with the ghost realm. I'm afraid the ghost realm has already. It's not 2 years, it's just a few months. Because in the ghost world, some great masters seem to use some kind of power to distort the ghost world time and space when they feel the crisis, so the ghost world time and space the passage is very strange. Mu Feng shook his head. Now, what should I do? All of a sudden, everyone's eyes slowly fixed on Xiao Yan, waiting for Xiao Yan's instructions. You are the lord of the endless fire territory. I will listen to you. The 3 women nodded slightly, and their beautiful eyes looked at Xiao Yan at the same time. Zuner, convene 1/3 of the endless fire territory and prepare to rescue the ghost world together. 1/3 of the staff seems to be insufficient. Mu Yingying's beautiful eyes flickered, and it was obvious that Mu Yingying managed a part of her combat power. In addition, as a 9th grade pharmacist, I will announce to the world. Anyone who participates in this war, regardless of success or failure, will be able to obtain a 7th rank to 9th rank alchemy qualification afterwards. Yes, Domain Master. 9 rank alchemist. Everyone couldn't help laughing. It seems that this time, Xiao Yan, the domain owner, was underestimated. The strength of the 5th layer reincarnation rank, combined with the 9th grade pharmacist, even in the entire Daqin world, he is a top-ranked expert. The endless fire territory has grown from the new force in the past to a powerful force. In addition to the endless fire domain, other domains. Fire spirit, the position of the goddess Yaoji can be basically determined. Our top priority now is to rescue the goddess Yaoji. The fire elf elder stood in front of Xiao Yi and said bitterly. The second brother sent a message that there is a traitor in Daqin Palace, and it is suspected that a lot of information in Daqin world has leaked outside the territory. This time, I will bring some of the elite fire elves and go to the ghost world with my second brother to rescue. This is not just a matter of the ghost world, but also a war about the fate of our great world. Xiao Yi Junmei's face ignored the words of the first elder and said to herself. It's up to you. The endless fire territory is now a new destination. Maybe it will completely replace the Daqiangong in the near future. Daqiangong Yingming I, but how could such things happen? Oh, elder, the boy swears that he will definitely save Yaoji's crown and strengthen my family of fire elves. The hometown of the Phoenix family. Originally, there were crystals all over the place, but at this time, it was as if the residual ice met a hot flame, and these crystals actually fell off slowly. The fiery red phoenix feathers fluttered in the wind, and the countless lives inhabiting the entire Phoenix Island turned out to be slowly recovering. So much so that there are several 10 obscure breaths it is like peeling and evolving, the fiery red phoenix feathers are falling, and its strength is even more tyrannical than today's Xiao Yan. Phoenix Nirvana, strength advances by leaps and bounds. Demon World, Lord Monster Emperor, the Ghost Realm was attacked by evil tribes outside the realm, and it is now an established fact, do you think? Do we really need to go? In some empty places, a thick green demonic energy shot into the sky. The Ghost World has already appeared in the 10-Temple Yama, including the help of the Dragon and Phoenix and other clans, and it should be able to solve it. What we need to do now is to find the key to the underworld. The underworld area is too weird. Even with the strength of the World Master and I can't step into it. It seems that you must have a key to enter it. The Demon Emperor shook his head slightly, his eyes filled with concern, as if he was guarding something. Skyline, now that the heavenly realm is on the decline, so under the instigation of the endless fire territory, no help was sent. Territorial boundaries. Many creatures are in a trance, but Hell King and other powerhouses didn't do anything. Instead they did not move, and they didn't know what they were planning. There are no traces of the many strong people in the center of the human world. It seems that after failing to capture Xiaoyan several times, they are also entangled by some thorny things. Buddhist realm. There are many strong ascetic monks in the Buddhist realm slowly walking out of the Buddha realm and heading towards the Ghost realm, as if preparing to help the Ghost realm. No matter what kind of grievances the Ghost realm and the Buddha realm have, they can still distinguish clearly under this kind of big right and wrong. As for the demon world, some very strange things were slowly going on at this time, and no help was sent. At this point, the frontal battle between the Great Thousand Worlds and the alien race seems to be about to kick off. Continuing from the previous episode 2519. When many forces in Dachin world learned about the news of the Ghost world and waited for an opportunity to prepare for rescue, countless regions in the Ghost world were already experiencing scenes of unprecedented crisis. On the edge of the Ghost world, the cracks in the plane connecting the evil races outside the territory and the space-time wormholes of the other 6 worlds were not only surrounded by black energy, but even a deep ghost light lingered. The ghost light is extremely mysterious, it seems to be full of endless evil power, and it contains a majestic and gloomy ghost, which completely distorts the time and space of the entire Ghost world and seals it up. Therefore, today's Ghost world has completely formed an independent portal in a closed state, making it impossible for all beings to enter and exit freely. Countless powerhouses in the vast world have racked their brains and cannot finally determine the status quo of the Ghost world, but also because of this, the Ghost world. The catastrophe did not spread out. Originally, in the Ghost world, ghosts were criss-crossed, and humans and ghosts lived in harmony, but now, in the huge regional buildings of the Ghost world, the ghosts have long been modeled to a point where they can almost be ignored. Even those aboriginal residents, at this time, it also disappeared without a trace. The entire Ghost realm is empty like no one, and layers of dark gas in the air, like a pool of viscous black water, completely fills the entire Ghost realm. In the dark night, it seems that even the concept of time has become blurred and slowed down. Of course, in the entire Ghost realm, there is still a lot of war, and even the realm of Soul Eater, Li Soul realm and other realms are not spared. The cracks in the plane of the Ghost world and the extraterritorial evil race. Wong, there was news from a scout just now. It seems that a strong man from the Great Thousand World has taken action from the air, trying to break our evil realm. What do you think should be done? In the void of the plane cracks, a group of extremely large number of evil species appeared out of thin air. They perched in tents surrounded by evil spirits, and constantly released dark evil spirits one after another, sheltering and suppressing the cracks in the plane. There were many figures walking intermittently between the tents, but they were very respectful to the person in front of them. The person in front of him, his eyes were dark and filled with a violent suffocating aura, and he was dressed very strangely, like a monk. For the purpose of Lord Heretic God's plan, we must swear to guard this place. Send someone to report the information to the Heretic God. It won't be long before this area will be completely transformed into our territory. This is also the first battle for us to attack the territory we have acquired in the Great Thousand World. As soon as the words fell, calm was restored here. However, the identity of the person at the head is extremely strange. If Xiaoyan appeared here, he would be able to recognize at a glance that this guy was from the Soul Eater domain, Hongzong. The disciple of the Master of Soul Eater is also his second senior brother. Today, he has a complicated expression and no anger on his body, like a dying person, and his flesh and blood is even full of dense black lines. Those magic patterns eroded the latter little by little, like a Tarsus. No one at all knows what happened here. Why would he swear allegiance to the outside world? However, Hongzong is one of the strong leaders sent by Soul Eater to guard outside the realm. Now his appearance is probably enough to explain a lot of things. With the loss of the crack in the plane, the entire ghost world is also in a dire crisis, in the soul-devouring domain. Woo-hoo-hoo! Waves of howling wind flew out, and above the endless realm of the entire Soul Eater domain, bursts of ghosts and wolf howls came out, and even above some small planes, there were already evil spirits, and they had obviously fallen into countless territories. My lord, at this rate, our fortress won't last long. The cracks in the plain have been occupied by foreign troops. Once our fortress is lost, the headquarters of Soul Eater will be in jeopardy. Soul-devouring territory has lost more than 1/3 of the powerhouses now, and nearly half of the territory is controlled by foreign evil clans. Once the fortress is breached and soul-devouring territory headquarters is exposed, our entire soul-devouring territory may be completely destroyed. A towering fortress with the advantage of natural danger stands out of thin air 100 miles away from the Soul Eater domain. At this time, above the fortress, a general in armor looked solemn. Looking at the beautiful goddess in front of him, he couldn't help it. Said, standing in front of the crowd was a graceful figure, and the space bracelet on Qianying's wrist had already been shattered. Obviously, in the long battle, their losses were extremely serious. How much power do we have? Hao Nier frowned, looked at the dark army under the fortress, took a breath, and asked. Reporting to my lord, there are still 4 people in the reincarnation rank battle strength, and 7 people from the 8-star fighting immortals. The remaining strong people are no longer enough to deal with this situation. The guard beside him shook his head slightly, his expression blurred. These people are naturally the former general of Soul Eater, Bai Zi, the strength of the first reincarnation, the 2 guardians of Soul Eater, the strength of the ** of the second level, and Hao Nier's Ruyi Langjun, who is wanted by Zhaoyan the powerhouse, Yu Mingxuan, is a reincarnation level strength. As for Hao Nier's strength, he has already reached the peak of the quasi-triple reincarnation rank, leading the 3 armies to resist the erosion of the Soul Eater domain by the army of foreign evil tribes. Do you hate me? Hearing this scene, Hao Nier suddenly put her hands on her back and said to Yu Mingxuan, the bodyguard in the crowd like a young girl, with a bright smile. The two have been reunited for a long time, but they have never held a wedding, and now encountering such a thing, naturally. Will not. Even if we die, we will be a pair of desperate mandarin ducks here. To have this beloved in this life, why should you be happy in life, and why should you be afraid of death? Hearing this, Yu Mingxuan smiled casually, staring at Hao Nier, as if supporting all of the latter's decisions. The vast voice sounded like rolling thunder. I'll wait, I'm willing to swear to follow Lord Hao Nier to the death. Above the fortress, everyone could not help but slightly clench their fists and said respectfully. The reason why the foreign evil clan has been slow to attack is probably planning something. We must not fall for their tricks. 3 armies break through. If we can open a gap from this evil army, victory is not impossible. Hao Nier looked at the group of sticky demonic energy in the fortress, and confided word by word. Congratulations, Lord Heretic God. Immediately, outside the fortress, among the evil army, a terrifying wave suddenly sounded. Emperor resentment, even a mere fortress can't be breached, what's the use of you? My lord, the leaders in the fortress have mastered the divine artifact of the ghost world. With my quasi-quadruple reincarnation level strength, I can't break it. We have attacked 8 times in a row, and we can only return without success. The Red King rank resentful emperor couldn't help but be shocked, and said in fear. Fortress souls, come out quickly to die. The vast magic sound emerged, and the dense black gas gushed out like ants, surrounding the entire fortress with a bang. The breath of suffocation haunted my heart, but at this time, everyone in the fortress didn't have any fear at all. That was the late stage of the culprit who attacked the ghost world, the energy clone of the 7th evil god. If that's the case, let's fight. For our home, for our loved ones. Those who break into my soul-devouring realm, kill without mercy. The majestic cold voice resounded, and a resolute righteousness suddenly appeared in the hearts of the tens of thousands of strong people in the fortress. Take a step back, and the home behind you will be brutally murdered. Even if this battle is destroyed, This group of filthy extraterritorial creatures must pay the price of blood.